and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Thursday, July 31st.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
We begin with that deadly plane crash in Greenwood. The victim, On-Tu Nguyen, was known as an advocate for women in aviation, even during her time as a student at Purdue. According to posts on social media, she was trying to finish her second solo flight around the world when her plane went down. Nguyen founded Asian Women in Aerospace and Aviation. She received her bachelor's and master's degrees from Purdue. Just last year, she became the 10th female pilot and the first of any gender from Vietnam to fly solo around the world. She said in her last social media post that her flight into Indiana was supposed to be part of another trip around the globe.
This is more than just a flight, okay? It's a mission to inspire the next generation of Asian female pilots, aerospace engineers, and STEM professionals.
On-Tu Nguyen was 44 years old. Asian Women in Aerospace and Aviation issued a statement on Nguyen saying in part that she lived with boldness, curiosity, and drive. She came from humble beginnings in Vietnam to becoming a beacon of hope to many. Nguyen's plane went down yesterday afternoon behind a gas station on Main Street near I-65 in Greenwood. A man who watched it all happen and ran towards that crash talked to our news crews on scene. Malia Van Ostrand reports.
She made a little bitty bank and then the nose fell and she went into a spin. I immediately said on the phone, "Hey, this plane's crashing. I got to get off here and call 911.
Williams said he heard a loud thud when the plane hit the ground and couldn't tell if the plane's engines were on, but that the plane was quiet. He says it had just taken off from Indy South Greenwood Airport, only a few blocks away.
There was no explosion. There was no fire. I pulled right up to the site, jumped out of the truck. I could smell fuel, and it was smoking. And as I got close to the plane, I could tell there wasn't a survivor. It's so surreal because, you know, you hear about things, but to actually witness it and see it falling like that and knowing that lives are at stake. And it was just a few seconds from the time she banked until it went into the spin, maybe 4 or 5 seconds before she hit the ground.
Tyler Swartz, NPIO of the Greenwood Fire Department, says that there were no other reported injuries on the ground and that the pilot was the only one in the plane. The Greenwood Fire and Police Departments, as well as Indiana State Police, responded to the scene.
At this time, there is no further information. The NTSB and the FAA are on site, and they will be handling the investigation.
As Williams sees it, the plane crash should be a wake-up call for everyone.
You never know. I mean, I could have been sitting in my office, the plane could have hit that, and you're gone in an instant. So, try to live my life for God and try to make sure that I'm right, because any moment, it could be gone like that.
In Greenwood, I'm Malia Van Ostrand for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
IMPD says the officer shot in the line of duty this week is home from the hospital. The department shared photos of the officer leaving the hospital on social media yesterday. Other officers lined up to pay tribute. IMPD have yet to release the officer's name. Police say a carjacking suspect shot the officer on Tuesday during an arrest attempt on the city's west side. The officer returned fire and hit one suspect. Police say that person is still in the hospital in critical condition. Authorities have released the identities of the 2 suspects under arrest. Maki Starks and Malik Starks, both 19 years old, will face a preliminary charge of resisting law enforcement. Police are still searching for another suspect in the case. In Gary, authorities have identified a man killed in a police shooting. The Lake County Coroner's Office says the victim was 46-year-old David Martin. Gary police say SWAT officers were serving a drug warrant yesterday morning when Martin ran out of the back of the building and engaged officers with a gun. Police say officers fired shots at Martin and that he later died. There was still no word on what led to a crash that killed a woman in Madison County. The Madison County Sheriff's Department says the pedestrian was hit and killed around 9:40 yesterday morning on County Road 150 West near State Road 36 east of Pendleton. Deputies say the woman was hit by a Jeep Wrangler driven by a 17-year-old. The coroner's office has not released the woman's name. To Capitol Hill, where the Senate rejected 2 measures that would block some sales of weapons to Israel. Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders forced the votes. They failed, but appear to show more Democrats are supporting the measure. Sanders says he will keep pushing the resolutions and is accusing the Israeli government of starving children to death. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says the country will recognize a Palestinian state this September. France and the UK have made a similar announcement, but the UK says it will only do so if Israel does not agree to a ceasefire in Gaza. Both the US and Israel are criticizing the move, calling it a reward for Hamas. Let's talk sports. The Indianapolis Colts say season tickets are sold out for the coming season. The team says you can still get single game and group tickets, but they are going fast. They only account for 10% of all tickets. If you're thinking about season tickets in 2026, there is a wait list that you can join. The Colts' first home game is Sunday, September 7th against the Miami Dolphins. The Indiana Fever are on a red-hot winning streak, this time in Arizona against the Phoenix Mercury, 107-101. Ari McDonald, one of the players filling the Caitlin Clark gap, scored a career high of 27 points. It's the Fever's third straight victory, despite Clark missing the last 5 games with a groin injury. The Fever are in Dallas tomorrow. Tip-off for that game is at 7:30. When it comes to the weather, relief is finally here, but Storm Track 8 says it comes in the form of rain showers. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
Good news, there's no severe weather expected. Bad news, it is going to be wet for the drive into work. Your kids are going to be sitting in or standing in some pretty heavy rainfall at times at the bus stop this morning, and there might be some lightning strikes too. We're up to almost 50 from the last 5 to 10 minutes, and we got a couple of flood advisories out right now. Marion County, Hancock County, northern Shelby County all have these advisories. We're kind of lightening up the rain a little bit here in the city. The heaviest rain is now moving into Hancock County. Also some intermittent downpours, Jay, Randolph, Delaware, Madison counties, all moving east. And then we've got some pretty consistent downpours now in northwestern Monroe. Bloomington, you're not in it yet. It is heading your way. And you've got some heavier rain showers right now exiting Clay County, heading into Owen County as well. We do have some flood advisories out around Terre Haute and Brazil and Greencastle, where we've had some heavy rain. This is just over the last 3-hour estimates. North side of town here in Indy, almost 3 inches of rainfall. So no surprise. You're averaging an inch an hour here. That's a lot of rain. And so there is going to be a lot of standing water. Please, please, please be aware of that. Give yourself some extra time to get where you need to go. Brownsburg at about 2.5 inches estimated here. As we go into the morning drive, low 70s. Take it easy. Upper 60s and low 70s is where we stand right now. And dew point numbers, low 70s. But the drier air is just up north, and so that's going to be rushing in here. Storm Track 8 Futurecast, we go hour by hour. Rain kicks out of here by lunchtime, and by the afternoon hours, we'll dry out. We've already hit our high today, lower 70s as we head into the afternoon hours. This paves the way for a beautiful weekend ahead. We'll talk about that in my forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at Marcus Bailey's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 weather app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Thursday, July 31st. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV and wishtv.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go. Connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.